how's it going, everybody? So in today's video, I thought I would do something a little bit different. I thought it would be fun to go shelf by shelf and pick out my favorite figure from each shelf. Now, some of these shelves are movie or era specific, and some are not, but I'm still just going to go shelf by shelf and pick out a favorite one. So let's get started. All right, so starting up at the top. All right, so this shelf here starts with Knights of the Old Republic and goes through Attack of the Clones. Okay, and there's some good ones here. There's some fantastic figures on this shelf. My number one figure of 2023 was Darth Malgus. Love it. I think Darth Malak is super cool. I mean, going through these, the Droidica is just flat out amazing. I do love the Phase 1 on the new body. It's just a great looking trooper. I've always loved that mace, the 2D Clone Wars mace. That's always been one of my favorites. Yeah, there's some good figures here. But I think if I had to pick a favorite from this shelf, it's going to have to be the Droidica. I mean, this thing is an engineering marvel. You got to have two, right? I mean, they generally come in pairs, but I mean, as soon as I got this figure out of the box, I could not put it down. It is so much fun, and yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. The Droidica is my favorite one on this shelf. This next shelf finishes Attack of the Clones and moves into Clone Wars. I've always loved that version of Cad Bane. I really like Padawan Ahsoka a lot. This version of Obi-Wan has been one of my favorites from day one. Some more troopers. Lots of troopers. Clone Commanders look great. Rex, so happy to have that one. I really like the ARF trooper that Nate from Out of the Basement sent me. It's a killer trooper right there. And Pre-Vizsla, Loyalist, Super Commando, and then more troopers. I love the 332nds. And then Clone Wars Maul. I like Clone Wars Maul a lot. The outfit is perfect. He's very posable. Yeah, there's some good ones here. There's some good ones here. Now, as much as I love this Obi-Wan, I do really like Ki-Adi-Mundi. And I really, really like the Super Battle Droid. So between these two, man, sorry, Obi-Wan. It's going to be between these two. So both of these, you know, long awaited. The sculpt on both is just incredible. The paint is just incredible. Man, I don't know. For me, I think it's going to have to be the Super Battle Droid here. And I'm adding this in after the fact. All right, I just got the clean version of the Super Battle Droid. So if this guy was on the shelf here, this would be my favorite. This figure is gorgeous. So this next shelf is Bad Batch Season 1. And of course going into Season 2. And then we have Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. All right, so I do like the Bad Batch figures a lot. I mean, I've always liked the Crosshair figure. Well, that one's up for debate. But I do really, really like this version of Tech. Okay, the mercenary version of Tech. That's what we should have gotten the first time around. I mean, the goggles on the face just make the figure, and it's just such a good figure. So I do like that one a lot. But well, the rocket launcher troopers on the 2020 Stormy body, that's hard to beat. Inquisitor Vision Cal is a fantastic figure. I was shocked at how good that figure is. I mean, yes, it's the same legs as Grand Inquisitor, but that's okay. You know, the upper is new. Now, same head as the Deluxe Cal and the original Cal, but that's okay. That's okay. That is a great figure right there. I do like the Jedi Survivor version of Cal. I mean, that's a very good figure. I've always liked the Scout Trooper design. As much as I love this version of Tech, I think my favorite on this shelf is going to have to be Inquisitor Vision Cal. So this next shelf is kind of a mix. So it starts with Solo and then goes to Kenobi and then goes to Rebels. And there's quite a few on this shelf that I really, really like. And I put Old Master Maul over here in the Rebels section just because it's very similar to his appearance in Rebels. And I've always loved this figure. That is an awesome, awesome figure right there. I do like Jedi Legend Obi-Wan a lot. It just looks good. You know, Duel's Invader, the Inquisitors. Let's see, getting into Solo. All right, the Solo figures all look really good. They all look really, really good. As far as the likeness, as far as the sculpt and the paint, I mean, it's just a well-done line. Surprisingly good. But for this shelf, if I had to pick a favorite, for me, it is a toss-up between Duel's Invader, I mean, that's just awesome right there, and Old Master Maul. I mean, this right here is a super fun figure. Extremely posable. The sculpt is great. The face is awesome. But the face is also awesome on Duel's Invader. That eye showing with the scars, I mean, that just looks amazing. So, it's totally a toss-up. I think I'm going to have to go with Duel's Invader. So this next shelf is also a mix. So it starts with Andor, and then it goes to Rogue One. Okay, lots of good figures there. And then bleeds into A New Hope. And there's quite a few on this shelf that I really like. A lot. I mean, Star Killer. I've always loved that one. The Rebel Fleet Trooper. It's just cool. I mean, for a 2018 figure, it's pretty incredible. And then my custom U-3PO, I think, turned out pretty good. Bandai Model Kit R2. Oh, the Jedi Patrol Trooper is another just stellar figure. Let's see. All the Rogue One figures look really good. And I think all the Andor figures look really good. And I really, really enjoyed Andor. So I'm happy to have these on the shelf. And I did a head swap on that Ferrex officer with, that's the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes from Origins. So I got two different guys there. So that worked out well. Yeah, they all look really good. They all look great. But I think if I had to pick a favorite on this shelf, it's going to have to be the good old 2020 Stormtrooper. It's just a tremendous figure. It looks great. It poses so well. It's like a perfect figure almost. So I think that's my favorite on this shelf. And this bottom shelf finishes up A New Hope. And then it ends with some of the Lucasfilm Publishing figures over here on this end with Creel, Mike, and this Leia. And that's a diorama rock that David at Red Wagon Dioramas sent me. So thanks, David, for that once again. I've always loved this Leia. I think that is just a beautiful version of Leia. Creel and Mike both look amazing. I mean, the blue on Mike is just gorgeous. And Creel's just cool. That pauldron just makes it. I mean, three really good figures right there. And of course, this shelf also has these pieces that Landspeeder Luke sent me. All I had to do was paint them. So thanks, Luke, once again for the stairs, as well as the stage for the modal nodes. All I had to do was paint it, and I'm happy. So thank you, sir, for that. Once again, Luke, I really appreciate it. So as far as the modal nodes, I did some silver dry brushing on the speakers, and I also did some dry brushing and dark wash on some of these instruments, just to kind of bring them to life. Okay, on the string drum, the fanfare, as well as the omnibox. Okay, that just adds a lot. So super happy with how that turned out. And of course, the bar was a gift from a subscriber, so thanks for the bar. That's awesome. The Orange Pauldron Sand Trooper is one of the best figures in the line. It's just so well done. But if I had to pick a favorite from this shelf here, I think it's going to have to be this right here, the Modal Nodes. Figurin' Dan / Nalan Chiel. Same figure, but they just look so good together. All 7 there with their respective instruments on the stage. That's just hard to beat. So I think on this shelf, that's my favorite right there. And moving over to this other shelf, so the top here is Empire Strikes Back. And there's some good ones here. The Probe Droid was my very first Black Series figure, so that one holds a special place in my heart, as well as being just an awesome looking figure. I mean, that's a good looking droid. I've always loved that one. Hoth Rebel Soldiers. That's just one of the best in the line, I think. Veers is surprisingly good. I think the Luke and Yoda set's cool. ESB Vader is hard to beat. Just a great looking Vader. Of course, I love the new R2, or the new Astromech in general. The Chewie and 3PO set is just great. I mean, it's a good looking Chewie. Zuckuss, nicely detailed. That's the Bandai Model Kit Boba Fett there. All right, if I had to pick a favorite on this shelf, it is a toss-up for me between this Vader, all right, Empire Strikes Back Vader, and the Hoth Rebel Soldier. And I think I'm going to have to go with Hoth Rebel Soldier because of the options. It's just a great looking figure overall. Paint, sculpt, the faces, the weapons, the scarf, the goggles. I mean, it's just one of the best figures in the line. So I think on this shelf, I think this is my favorite right here. This next shelf is Return of the Jedi, and I've got some Legends characters sprinkled throughout. There's some good ones here. This is going to be kind of difficult. Here, we'll start on this end. We'll start over here. So this Luke right here, this 40th anniversary of Jedi Luke, is a tremendous figure. I think it's one of the most posable figures in the entire line. Yeah, that's a good one right there. This Vader is super cool. I just wish the helmet wasn't so fiddly. Yeah, Mara Jade and Infinity's Vader back there in the back. Some 2020 Stormies, hard to beat. This Boba is pretty incredible, as you all know. And Jabba just looks great. Jabba's just cool. On his throne. I've always loved the Biker Scout. The Rebel Commando is an awesome figure. Paint, swappable faces, very posable. I think the Ewoks look fabulous. Very happy with those. Of course, I love the new astromech body. That R2 is just awesome. But if I had to pick a favorite on this shelf, I think I'm going to have to go with the Gamorrean Guard. It is one of the best figures in the entire line. Paint, sculpt, fuzzies, different weapons. It's just well done. And I think you have to have at least two just to kind of mix up the weapons a little bit. So I think on this shelf, without a doubt, I think the Gam Guard's my favorite here. This next shelf is all Mandalorian. Season 1 and Season 2, I guess you could safely say. So it starts over here with the credit collection. Now, I know a lot of people don't like this subline. I think some of them are pretty cool. All right, so that's that. And then, Season 1 Mando and getting into Season 2 Mando. And I've got some of the sets over here on the end, like the 3-pack there. And then the Maldo Kreese set, which is pretty cool with that spider. I've always loved the Ahsoka figure. The R5 is well done. The Tusken Raider's always been one of my faves. I really, really like the Cara Dune figure. Season 1 Migs is a surprisingly good figure. Really, really like that one. Of course, Paz Vizsla being so chunky, super cool figure. But if I had to pick a favorite on this shelf, just an absolute favorite, I think I'm going to have to go with Death Watch Mando. It's a good army builder, even though I just have one. It's a good army builder. The sculpt is well done. It's very posable. It's a great body. This new body is just awesome. So I think on this shelf, I do like both of those a lot. But as a favorite, I think I'm going to have to go with Death Watch Mando. This next shelf finishes The Mandalorian and then goes into Book of Boba Fett and then into Ahsoka. And there's a lot of figures on this shelf that I like a lot. Some well done ones here. Starting over here with Marok. I've always loved this figure. Super posable. Great sculpt. Yeah, Marok's cool. This Luke and Grogu set is a ton of fun. The Cobb-Cad combo is cool. The Black Chrysanthemum looks great. Of course, Glavis Ringworld Mando is just an awesome figure right there. One of the best, like ever. The Dark Troopers are great. Those are good. The Fleet Commander, Bo, Axe, Casca. Imperial Light Cruiser Luke is well done. It's a good looking Luke. Of course, I love the new R2. This version of Boba is one of my favorites. So in this case, I moved the shoulder pads and painted him to make him look a little more screen accurate. But I've always loved that Boba. Gosh, and of course the troopers are just hard to beat. Yeah, they just look great. But for this shelf, if I had to pick a favorite, I think I'm going to have to go with Glavis Ringworld Mando. With the cloth cape, the updated body, the updated helmet. It's just a well-done figure from top to bottom. So I can safely say on this shelf, I got to go with Glavis Ringworld. And the bottom shelf down here is the sequel trilogy. All right, so this Kylo, Supreme Leader Kylo, is a very good figure. The cape does get in the way of articulation. The elbows are a little limited, but he does look great. That Rey looks great. I think Zori Bliss looks great. But if I had to pick a favorite on this shelf, honestly, for me, it's going to have to be this archive version of Han Solo from The Force Awakens. And just for funsies, let's take a look at the G.I. Joe classifieds. So I don't have many, as you see. I've been grabbing some if they're on sale, just off and on. But I am blown away at how good this line is. I mean, they are just super fun, very posable. The sculpts are awesome. The faces look great on all of them. You know, the ones that I have, I'm very happy with them. The detail on Zorana is just sick. But Storm Shadow looks good. Tomac, Zaymot, Crocmaster, just awesome. And the Croc there, Fiona, just love it. Stalker. Snake Eyes. So this is the Origins version of Snake Eyes. It's very basic, but I still love it. So that picture back there, that is a picture of me from about maybe 12 years ago in the operating room closing up someone's back. Yeah, that's me. Good times. Back to this now. All right, so if I had to pick a favorite of the Joes that I have, I do love Outback a lot. But I think my favorite of this bunch here that I have is Stalker. Sergeant Lonzo Stalker Wilkinson. I think he's my favorite. That is just such a cool figure. Extremely posable. He's got great accessories. He photographs well. So, yeah, I think Stalker's my favorite here. All right, that's it. That was fun to do. And if you enjoy videos like this, action figures, Star Wars The Black Series in particular, smack like and subscribe if you're new, and don't forget to turn on notifications. I would certainly appreciate it. And something else I would love for you to consider, and that is joining the channel. It's the 112th Battalion. It's only 99 cents a month. You'll get sneak peeks to upcoming videos, custom emojis, loyalty badges, all those cool things. I would definitely appreciate that. But I just want to thank you all so much for watching. See y'all next time.